Hey everybody, welcome back. In this video I'm going to show you how to play the outro guitar solo from Aerosmith's classic Walk This Way. Now if you want to learn the two main solos from this song, I do have lessons here on YouTube on my channel, and I'll put links down below if you want to check those out. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to play the entire solo again for you slowly with the tabs on the screen. That way the more advanced players can get through this more quickly, and then after that for everybody else we're going to break it down note by note. Let's go. Now before we dig into the notes here in section 1, let's talk really quickly about the guitar tone. A lot of people associate Joe Perry with Les Pauls, and for good reason. He's had signature Les Pauls. Most of the time when you see him live, he plays one. But actually, this is a little known secret. In the 70s, a lot of what Joe Perry did in the studio was with a Stratocaster, a Fender Strat. And he talked about this in an interview in 2023. And so for this solo, he used the neck pickup of a Strat. So I'm using a single coil neck pickup here too. But you can certainly play this solo on just about any type of pickup, and it's probably going to sound good. So don't get hung up on that, but I wanted to call that out. Alright, now section 1 includes all those bends that you hear at the beginning of the outro solo. So in the background you've got that riff. And then on top of that you've got a bunch of bends that are being added. So the first bend is at the 2nd fret of the G string. You're going to bend up and down. And then the next bend is going to be at the 4th fret. You're going to bend up, down, back up again, vibrato. Notice that when you come back up the second time, you're 1.5 steps up. Okay, so the first bend is 1 step up, and the second is 1.5. Okay? Think of it like this. You're going, okay? And then the next bend is back down at the 2nd fret of the G string, bend up a full step, vibrato. And then the next bend is the same as the second bend. So you're back to the 4th fret, bend up, down, up, vibrato. And then for the next bend, we're up at the 14th fret of the G string, bend it up, add vibrato. And then the next one is the 16th fret of the G string, and we're going to do that bend up, down, up, vibrato movement again, okay? And again, the second time you go back up, it's 1.5 steps, you're going a little further. Then you'll notice I show a little kind of slide down the strings. It's very, very faint in the mix, but it's there. You can skip it if you want, but those that know my lessons know that I will capture every little nuance in the playing because I want you to get it to sound as close to the record as possible. You can skip that if you want. And then the next bend is the 14th fret of the G string. This time we're doing a pre-bend before we hit the note. Okay, so you bend the note up a full step, hit it, and then come down. And then slide down. Now a lot of times you'll see people tab it or play it where instead you play the 12th fret of the B and just slide down instead of. It's the same note. Most people won't notice the difference, but when I analyze the solo, I hear it at the 14th fret. And then the final bend, we go back up to the 16th fret of the G string, bend up, down, up, vibrato. Now, before we move on to section 2, I want to show you what I like to do when I perform this outro solo. Instead of just sitting there and waiting for each bend to come with pausing in between, what I like to do is blend it with the rhythm guitar. So the main riff behind it. So if you take parts of that and mix it with these bends, it would sound like this. So you got to be kind of quick to go back and forth between the rhythm and the bends, but it's a lot of fun to play it that way. All right, let's move on to section 2. All right, here's section 2 at normal and then slow speed. Let's break it up into 2 boxes, and in the first one we play. So what you're doing is playing 12th fret of the high E, and then 15 of B, pull off to 12. And then you'll notice there's a little kind of string scratch there that I put in the tabs. It's really, really faint in the mix. I never noticed it was there until I listened to the isolated guitar tracks from the original song that someone posted on YouTube. Then you can hear it. It's really faint. You can skip it if you want, but it's in there. And then you're going to play the 15th fret of the B string, but it's a pre-bend up a full step. So you bend it up a full step, then hit it and come down. And then you're pulling off to 12, and then playing 15 really quickly after that. The 12th fret note is almost inaudible, but it's there. And then 15th fret of B string again, bend up a full step. Let's play that first box a couple times slowly. Then in the second box we play slowly. So we start with the 15th fret of the B string, bend up a full step, and then bring it back down, pull off to 12. Notice how the descend from the bend is slower than the ascend. You're going down quicker from the bend than you're going up. Okay. And then on the G string, 15 pull off to 14, pull off to 12. So far in that second box. And then 14 of G again, bend it up a half a step, slow descend, pull off to 12. And then 14 of D. And then you're going to play 14 of D, G, and B all together at vibrato. I do an upstroke so it kind of accentuates the higher strings more than the lower string. All right, let's play that second box again slowly, a couple times. Now we're going to tie both boxes together and play section 2 one more time, slowly and then at normal speed. All right, let's move on to section 3. Here's section 3 at normal and then slow speed. Let's break that up into 3 boxes, and in that first one we play slowly. So you're going to play 12 on G, hammer to 14, and then 12B, 12E. Now a lot of times, instead of 12 to 14 on the G string to begin with, people do 12, 13. And I get it, I understand why people do that. It's a very classic kind of you know, classic rock bluesy move to play 12, go to 13, go to that major third, because you're hitting the third up again, right? But when you go back and listen to the original, including the isolated guitar track, try it both ways, and I think you'll hear 12 to 14. And then you're going to play 16 of high E so far, and then 15 of B, bend up a full step, vibrato. Let's play that first box slowly a couple times. Then in the second box, we'll play slowly. So we're going to start with 12 on high E, and then 15 on B, pull off to 12, and then 12 G, hammer to 13, and then 12 of high E. So far in that second box. Now, if the fingering there feels kind of awkward to you, you could try just barring your index finger across the 12th fret of the E, G, and B strings. You could do that. I tend not to do that unless I absolutely have to, because then you're less likely to have the notes blend together. So then we play 15, pull off to 14, pull off to 12 on the B string. And then 14 of G, half step up, 12 of B. Let's play that second box a couple times slowly. Then in the third and final box, we play slowly. So you're going to play 14 of G, bend up about a half a step, maybe a little sharp if you want, back down to 12. And then 14D, 14G, 14D, 12G. Play what we have so far in that third box, slowly. And then finally you're going to play the 14th fret of D, G, and B, and add the open A in there kind of lightly if you can, add vibrato. All right, let's play that third box a couple times slowly. Now we're going to tie all three boxes together and play section 3 one more time, slowly and then at normal speed. All right, let's move on to section 4. Here's section 4 at normal and then slow speed. Let's break that up into two boxes, and in the first one we play. So it's 12 on G, hammer to 14, and then 12 of high E, so far. And then 15 of high E, you're going to bend it up a full step slowly. You kind of dig into the bend. Let's play what we have so far. Then you're going to play 15 of high E again, bend up, down, vibrato. Now a lot of times what you'll see is when people play that last note, they'll pick it when they come down from the bend. I used to do that too, because when you listen to the original track, it does sound like he's picking the note, but when I listen to the isolated guitar track, he's not. He's bending it up and bringing it back down without picking it a second time. I think it's just because of like the snare, the cymbals, or something that it makes it sound like another pick, but either way you should be fine. Let's play that first box a couple times slowly. Then in the second box we'll play So we start with the 12th fret of the high E string, and then 15 of B, slide to 17. And then 15 of high E, 17 of high E. So far. And then we're going to play 17th fret again, bend it up a quarter step, and then one more time, half step. All right, here's what we have so far. And then you're going to continue with that bend up, so you're one step up, hit it, come down, pull off to 15. All right? Let's play what we have so far slowly. Then we're going to play 15 of high E, bend it up a full step, wide vibrato, back down, slide down. All right, let's tie both boxes together and play section 4 one more time slowly and then at normal speed. All right, let's move on to section 5. Here is section 5 at normal and then slow speed. We'll break it up into 2 boxes, and in the first one we play slowly. So we start by sliding up to the 13th fret of the G string, followed by 12 of high E, and then 15 of B, pull off the 12. So far. And then 15, pull off to 14, pull off to 12 on the G string. 15, 14, 12. 14 of G, bend up and down, pull off to 12. So far. And then 14D, 12G. 14D, pull off to 12. And then on the A string, 14, 13, 12. All right, let's play that first box a couple times slowly. Then in the second box, we'll play slowly. So we're going to play 11 on A, hammer to 12, pull back off to 11. Those 3 notes, they're a little bit quicker than the rest. You'll see what I mean when we tie it all together. And then you'll play 12E, 12A, 12E. So far. And then 11 of A, 12, pull off to 11. 12 of E. So far, slowly. And then you're going to quickly rake to that 12th fret of the G string, bend up, down, slide down. Let's play that second box a couple times slowly. Notice how, again, the first 3 notes are a little quicker than the others. All right, let's tie both boxes together and play section 5 one more time, slowly and then at normal speed. All right, let's move on to section 6. Here's section 6 at normal and then slow speed. Let's break that up into two boxes, and in the first one we play. So what we're going to do here is play 2nd fret of the G string, bend it up, down, pull off to open G. Okay. And then 2nd fret of D. And then 2nd fret of G again with just a little quarter step, micro kind of bend. And then 2nd fret of G again, bend up and down, pull off to 0. And then 2nd of D twice. Let's play that first box slowly a couple times. Then in the second box we play slowly. So we start with 2nd fret of G, bend up and down, pull off to 0. And then the 2nd fret of D twice really quickly. A lot of times you'll see it tabbed and played with just one time instead of two. But again, it's one of those little things that I picked up when I listened to the isolated guitar track. You can hear it in there. It's really quick. Kind of muddy too, right? When you're using that neck pickup, you can get muddy sometimes. That sounds pretty clean, but you know what I mean. And then on the G string, 0, 2. And then 2nd fret of G, bend up and down, pull off to 0. And then do a little A power chord. Open A, 2nd fret of D and G. Play that second box a couple times, slowly. Now let's tie both boxes together and play section 6 one more time, slowly and then at normal speed. All right, let's move on to section 7. Here's section 7 at normal and then slow speed. So we're going to break it up into two boxes, and in the first one we play slowly. So we start by bending up at the 3rd fret of the B string half step, and then open E, open B. And then you're going to quickly slide from 3rd of B to 5, and then open E, open B. Okay. Let's play what we have so far, slowly. Okay. And then you're going to play 3rd fret of B, bend up a half a step, and then lift the finger off to open B. I say lift off instead of pull off because the open B ends up being a little slightly muted there, but don't get hung up on that. Just pull off to open B. And then open B again. And then 3rd of B, half step up. Let's play that first box slowly a couple times. Then in the second box we play slowly. So we'll start with open B, and then 3rd fret of B, bend up about a quarter step, pull off to open. Okay. And then you're going to play that same thing. This time bend the 3rd fret B up about half a step. Okay, so far. Now you'll notice that it looks like open E is also being played. It's not really being, it's kind of ringing out, right? It's kind of like a resonant note that's occurring. I wouldn't get too hung up on that, but you can play it if you want, like that, whatever. So far what we have. And then after that, bend up 3rd fret of B string, pull off to 0 again. And then open B again. You can have that open E string too if you want. And then you're going to play 3rd fret of the B string, bend up a full step, back down, pull off to 0. And then second of G, pull off to 0. I struggle to play this section slowly. And then finally, you've got an open A chord again, a power chord. So open A followed by second of D, second of G. And then toward the end, you can see I lift my fingers off the D and G string so it sounds open D and G. It's very faint in the mix. All right, let's play that second box slowly again. All right, let's tie both boxes together and play section 7 one more time, slowly and then at normal speed. All right, let's move on to section 8. Here's section 8 at normal and then slow speed. Let's break it up into 2 boxes, and in the first one we play. So it's second fret of G, bend up and down, pull off to 0. Second of D. Okay. Then you're going to play second fret of G again, this time a little bit of a slower bend compared to the first one, and then pull off to 0. And then second of D twice, add vibrato. Let's play that first box again slowly. Again. Then in that second box, we'll play. So remember how we ended the first box with the second fret of D? We were adding vibrato. From there, you're going to pull off to open D, hammer to 2, pull off to 0. And then on the A string, 2, pull off to 1, pull off to 0. Third fret of the low E, half step up, pull off to 0. So far in the second box. And then you go to the second fret of D, pull off to 0, hammer back on to 2, and then the A power chord. Let's play that second box again slowly a couple times. Now let's tie both boxes together and play section 8 one more time, slowly and then at normal speed. All right, let's move on to section 9. Here's section 9 at normal and then slow speed. So we'll break it up into 2 boxes, and in the first one we play. So we start with second fret of G, slide up to 12. And then from there you're going to play 12 of B, 12 of G, add vibrato. Then after that, you're going to repeat the 12B, 12G 5 more times, okay? Now, the second time in, when we do, it's a little bit faint in the mix. So, you can play it outright loud if you want. You can try to play it softer. What I do is I'll pick those 2 notes with my fingers to make it slightly softer. Then in the second box we play. So you're going to bend up at the 15th fret of the B string a full step, twice. The second time you're going to add wide vibrato, bring it down about halfway. Don't get worried, hung up on bending it, exactly halfway back down. Again, I get very granular with these lessons. You can just bring it all the way down if you want. Let's tie both of those boxes together and play section 9 one more time, slowly and then at normal speed. All right, let's move on to the final section, section 10. Now, normally I don't teach section 10 that I'm about to show you because most people don't even hear it, right? The song is so faded out at that point that the only way you're going to hear it is to really crank it up, and most people don't even hear these licks, okay? But I'm going to show it to you because I want to be a little more thorough. Here it is at normal and then slow speed. We'll break it up into two boxes, and in the first we play slowly. So it's 12 on B and then 14 on G, bend up a full step. And then 12B, 12G. And then 15 of B, bend up and down. Let's play that first box again. Slowly. Then in the second box we play slowly. So it's 12B, 14G, 12B. And then 15 of B, bend it up a full step, wide vibrato, back down halfway. Okay. All right, let's tie those two boxes together and play section 10 one more time, slowly and then at normal speed. All right, now if you go to those isolated guitar tracks, you're going to hear one more tiny little half of a lick in there, but I'm skipping it because I think we've done enough, and at this point, most people won't even know what that lick is anyway. All right, that was my lesson on how to play the outro guitar solo from Aerosmith's classic Walk This Way. If you found it helpful or informative, I would appreciate a thumbs up, and please hit that subscribe button if you want to catch more content like this in the future. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below, and I will attempt to answer them as time allows. Until next time, rock on.